My name is Josue Rosales. A lot of my friends know me as Sway, and I am also a A1 audio engineer. I've been doing it for 5 years, and going on to 6.
So my name is DJ Corcoran, and my position here with Pac-Man Production is handheld camera, sideline camera.
My name is Tim Petrie. I'm the director of Rivalry Thursday. This is my 10th season.
My name is Joe McNish. I started with Mark Packer in 2002. And in 2005, he learned my name. And I do stats. I do stats for Packer and for Rivalry Thursday. I didn't start out doing stats. I started out as a spotter. And then after that, year 2, Skip McMillan, our producer, came in and he said, we need somebody to do stats. Can you do it? And I dumbly said yes. And here we are.
Responsibilities, they account for this communication between truck and our audio guys that are on the field, such as our parade, and also our camera guys who also have mics as well. So I also have a responsibility of how they communicate. They need to be able to all communicate. I'm also responsible for making sure that, music is coming up on time. We're also making sure that whenever we play certain packages and commercials and advertisements that, I'm able to push that audio that's, available for everybody to hear and actually listen and, be part of a new advertisement or a new commercial. I like this job because it keeps me it's a job that allows me to stay in the game without being in the game. A lot of the guys that you may find within these career fields are people who have once been, in the athletic world where we've been, playing these sports and, being able to actually, be part of these games. Everybody has different paths, so people don't end up always in the same athletic world. But this allows me to stay around the game as much as possible. Audio allows me to still hear and feel the tension of the game, the crowd, the band. These are sounds that make what a high school football game is.
Well, I've always had a knack for television. From when I was 15, 16 years old, I was zoned to go to a high school that didn't have a television production. So I didn't really want to go to that high school. I wanted to go to Fulton, which had a TV production. Tom Simpson and some of the crew here today went through that same program, and we all graduated together. And probably at one time, Knoxville, behind the scene, audio, camera guys, studio cameras and stuff, probably had about 60% of the working population at 6, 10, and 8. The NBC, ABC, and CBS affiliates here in town were products of Fulton High School that came through that very same program. So that, from an early age, just loved television. I did that for a while as a news photographer, and then my career took another path. I went into the fire department, did 27 years, and I finished that, retired from the fire department, and then came back and started doing camera again. Well, we get here about 2 o'clock. Games usually kick off around 7 o'clock. So we will run cable, make sure that the cameras are operating. What we do fax, and that's what we're going to do probably here in just a little bit. And that's where the director makes sure that all the cameras are seeing return, making sure that you're not having any issues, make sure your cable reaches from goal post to goal post or goal line to goal line. And so they'll do that with all the cameras. And then during the game, you're just kind of following the ball. This camera position, each camera position has its own duties, so to speak. And everybody knows, that's why I say everybody knows what each other's going to be doing. So I know that on this particular play, they're probably going to take, game camera to tight camera, and they've got what they call headhunters, where, if somebody makes a good play, you have a good defensive play, and, you have a tackle, or you have a, whatever the play is, and it's a good defensive, then you know that that tight camera is going to go in there and headhunt and get that person. And if they can't get it, you'll hear the director saying, "Hey, get me number 72D." And if he's in my shot, or if I see him, I'll zoom in and get him real quick. So the director's seeing a bank of cameras, the monitors there, whatever camera is producing or shooting, and so he can see, and he'll go disregard, 2. I've got it on 4, or vice versa. So, but yeah, that's kind of our duties. And then afterwards, we, everybody pitches in and breaks it all down and puts it back on the truck until the next time. So it's kind of like a traveling road show, kind of like a roadie almost, or a circus, traveling circus.
I look at screens, I count backward from 10, I shout, and I mash buttons. No, seriously, I'm always trying to stay one step ahead. Just as the coaches are there for strategy and to help their players succeed, I am there also in trying to anticipate the coach's strategy, look at game situations, and make sure that all of our operators are in the right place to give the viewer, to document the game so the viewer gets to enjoy it at home, just as if they were here. I look for fun in everything that we do. But I think the thrill, I'm an adrenaline junkie, and so when that ball is teed up and it's kicked and it's in the air, there's an adrenaline that stays. We ride high on that from 12 minutes to go at the first quarter to triple zeros on the clock at the end of the fourth quarter or overtime. It's just exciting. Directing live TV is exciting. Directing live TV sports is even more exciting. Never a dull moment. There's never a dull moment. I like the camaraderie of working with my teammates. I love the travel of going into different towns and seeing some of the beautiful stadiums. I have my list of top 5 stadiums, top 5 venues where I've done high school football and loved them. And so that's, just driving through East Tennessee on an autumn afternoon to go do high school football, and then to feel the crisp air when the weather turns. There's nothing like it. It's just great.
Martin looking to throw, standing in his end zone, takes a shot, receiver is there.
I do stats by hand, mainly offensive stats. I can't do a lot of defensive stats with tackles and all. I can keep tackle for losses and sacks and interceptions and things like that, but I mainly keep the offensive stats, and it's just play after play. I have to write down what, I have to mark that the quarterback threw the ball and an attempt, and then who caught it and how many yards, and then go back and add all that up and add the passing yards. I can do 7 different things between plays. So if the teams are running a hurry-up offense, I'm in trouble. But over the years, I've learned how to just deal with that. If I get a little behind, I get a little behind. Don't get nervous and don't worry. But yeah, I basically just keep all the offensive stats the best I can. I love high school football. I love the games, and just all of it. The tradition we have about going to Waffle House after the game, and Chad Brown, who runs Parab on the side with us, he and I usually go eat before the game, and that's always fun. And then just working the game, just being, I kind of pinch myself saying, you're getting paid to work a high school game. It's just something that I still have a hard time figuring out how did it happen and how did it happen to me. So
10/20.
It's great. I tease them all the time, but it's kind of like a family. We've been together so long. Mark is a really good guy, and he takes care of the crew. When he first started to go on his own, rent his own equipment, and then eventually buy his own equipment, we had to take a little sacrifice and pay, because he just couldn't afford to pay us what normally ESPN or Fox at the time, or even CSS was paying us. And without anybody saying anything to him, I guess it was 2 to 3 years later, he made up the difference without anybody asking him to. And so that shows me what kind of person he is.
Brothership it's about Rivalry Thursday. It's when Mark asked me to come on the crew, and man, it's like family. Cannot be better to do a Thursday night with Mark Packer, Austin Price, Eric Kane. It's awesome to come out here on Thursday nights. Now we're in playoff Fridays, and like you see tonight, we're going to have one of the biggest playoff games in Knoxville. Being on the sidelines, the coaches interact with me during the games. It's fun. They come down, they interact with me. The players interact with me because they know me. I've been with Rivalry Thursday for 11 years. The coaches, the players, even the fans now are interacting with me. Got my own podcast. Kudos to Mark Packer. It's been awesome to work on this crew. Mark's like a father to me. He tells you when you mess up, when you're doing something wrong, to do it right. He's always there for you. Can't ask for a better guy. He's a great guy. He asked me to come on the crew, and I said yes. It's an awesome place to work for Rivalry Thursday.